Aloha, Sister Lupe. I'm answering the 5 questions from the final exam. The first one is, what's the value of having the ability to analyze and thinking critically? Analyze and thinking critically means you have the ability to analyze and think clearly and rationally. You can understand it and identify or debate about the essay with your own opinions. The value of critical thinking or analyze is help you to improve your thinking skills. It's a really important thinking skills. You can analyze and think about topic more details with critical thinking, and also help you to with your own opinions on the issues. Critical thinking also can help you solve the problems. If you have a problem or issue, whatever from the paper or from your life, you can analyze it from the both sides of the issues and make your own decision. Critical thinking also help improve language and presentation skills, because thinking clearly can improve the way we express our ideas. Critical thinking also improve the comprehensive abilities. Through the critical and analyze, we can evaluate our new ideas. Which one is better, so we can choose the better one. Which means the critical thinking is a tool for self-evaluation. The second question is, define what formalism is and provide 3 examples of this form from the novel you read for your group presentations. Make sure to connect your example to the formalism. Formalism is critical thinking, use literary elements, forms to analyze, interpret, or evaluate the paper or essays. In the book, authors use critical thinking to describe herself, which is the queen, the main characters, how she feel about, for example, the question is, how she feel about Hawaii combined to United States. And she also write down her thought, use the critical thinking, analyze both sides of the issues. She also used a plot with the critical thinking for many things happened in this book, such as one of the example is her brother the king with the competition with the queen, who gonna take over the government. And she also used the first point of view wrote this book, because the main characters is herself. It should be the first point of view. And you can also find lots of the formalism in the literary elements the author writes down in this book. The third question is, compare and contrast characters from your group novel which are character from Charlie. Answer the question, so what, by the end of your analysis. The book Hawaii's story describes the growth of the queen, from the childhood to Queen of Hawaii. The whole book represents what the queen learned from her travel to the England, to the mainland US, and also from her brothers and her sisters and her husband. With the story continues, she has more abilities to be a queen. And in Cherry's stories, Cherry is a person who grew up in the gospel, which means she grew up in the mentally environment. She started from the no member of the church and know the gospel and baptized and after learn from the church, take the lessons, she know how to serve other peoples and how to be honest. And after that, she had babies, and even when the end of her life, she still want meet her children and husband in the heaven. And so with these two characters in the different book, they have the same connection, which is focused on the grow up. They make change every day to gain the experience, whatever from the spiritually or in physically. The Queen of Hawaii, she gained the experience from the physically, and Charlie, she gained the experience from the spiritually. So from the conclusion, we can conclude that learn can change a person's life. So that apply for so what. So we can conclude that the learn can change a person's life, and change is important in our life. If we not make change, we cannot make any improvement. So change make our life better. The next question is, using the IRAC method of analysis, what is your conclusion to the questions? It is necessary to date other young adults of the same faith in order to find a happy and long-lasting relationship. My conclusion is, it is not necessary to date only young adults who have the same faith in order to gain a happy and long-lasting relationship. Because from my IRAC paper, I write down the date with non-members is reasonable. Because someone won't date only the members, because they think the members have all the members should be the good person. But be honest, all of the non-members, most of them are the good person. We cannot restrict our dating areas in the church, or who is the LDS. Even though the member is a better choice, there are a lot of issues between members and non-members, such as members, we don't drink alcohol or smoke, is a word of wisdom, and non-members, they don't care much about it. Even the even the person who has the same who has different religions, we don't have much topic to talk about. But my opinion is, it is necessary to date with member who non-members, because it is possible to overcome all the obstacle between members and non-members to gain the happy relationship. If we only choose the non-members who are the good person and have the potential to join the church or convert to the church, I believe it is worth to date with non-members. Also, date with non-members is an important missionary work. Even we are not in the missionary work is what we should do in our whole life. And Heavenly Father give us the chance to express the gospel to our dating date, and they also have the chance to know the gospel. If they know the gospel, whatever they join the church or not is their own choice. And combined with Cherry's stories, And Cherry is a person who is not a member and date with the return missionaries, finally become the member of the church and active members. So my conclusion is it is necessary to date with non-members. And the last question is summarize what your thesis for your paper and the main points you provide to support it. At the end, explain what you have learned through working on this paper, whether it is something you have learned about the topic you choose or something you have learned from the process. Okay, first, my paper about the thesis is children should learn to obey their parents in all their decisions before 18th in order to maximize their future opportunities. So I have 4 points to support my opinions. First one is because parents have more experience. We know that parents live a long time in society, they make more decisions than ours, they gain more experience in making choice or decisions. I believe their choice must be more accurate than ours. And the second one is parents' decision help children develop the skills. From our childhood, in China, parents also want the children learn some skills such as pianos, instrument, second language, or even more knowledge. And it is benefit for you in your future career, even you don't want to learn that. When you grow up, and if you know how to play an instrument, you can play with others. It show your talent with others. It's very attractive. And if you know a second language, you will have more opportunities to communicate with other people. You have more job opportunities in your future career from which country you learn the language from. And if you have more knowledge than others, in your future career you have the relatively more advantage than others. And another point is the culture, because in Chinese culture we need to obey the parents. It is the basic rules in Chinese culture, like children respect and obey the parents or elder or your teachers. And I think that also applied for most of the Asian countries. They have the same basic rules, such as Japan and Koreans. And also children need parents' support. That's the last opinion I have, because children make their own decisions, can hardly to gain the support from the parents. Here's the example. You want to go to the university which you choose, but your parents want you to go to another one. If you continue to go which schools you choose, parents might not willing to give you the financial aid to support your study. But if you go to the school which parents ask you to go, they will support you. That's my whole research paper talking about. So finally, I'm gonna talk about what I learned from this class. So the first and very important is the critical thinking, and you mentioned a lot in the class. And I think